Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Rachel with Lo-Casa, and you are now watching another episode of Deals of the Week. So starting off, we are just going to preface real quick that if you are not seeing 140 plus properties on your user profile, it is because you are a standard user. So standard users only have access to deals that have been on our site for 30 days or longer. So if you want access to deals in real time, whether that be apartments, condos, townhomes, single families, including creative finance deals, opportunities available for purchase, make sure that you check out our paid membership options. We are including a third tier here soon that we think is going to be really attainable for a lot of other users. So make sure that you check that out. We will send out an email once it is officially launched. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. So the first thing that I did want to touch on is an out-of-country opportunity, specifically in Karolina, Puerto Rico. So we did have a 9-unit portfolio that was available that is currently pending. They should be closing by the end of this month. So all 9 units in this Puerto Rico portfolio were basically taken. However, in one of the buildings where there was a unit, it looks like they now have 2 available. So these are separate from the portfolio, and now there are 2 additional that you have the opportunity to pick up should you choose. Now keep in mind, both do have to be picked up together, but these are great units. I actually believe that they told us the units that are available, the 2 units, are more modern or potentially newly renovated opposed to the one that you see here in the photos, but it's exactly the same in regards to size, rent price, location. So again, there are 2 units available in this building that you can pick up. These are studios for $2,100 a month, and they are fully furnished. We have all the details here that you would need to know about the property. So it's currently operating as a profitable short-term rental. Each unit is actually generating around 2 to 3 times its monthly rent. So this $39,000 that you see, that is simply based off of AirDNA projections. However, the numbers that you'll get from the actual operators will be 2 to 3 times that monthly rent that you see right here. So they have detailed financial information that I already mentioned will be available if you choose to move forward. This is not relevant because this has to do with the 9 units. Again, one of these in this building was part of that 9-unit portfolio, but these 2 additional ones are completely separate. Going into it, they're both studios, 1 bathroom. They're available now. For parking, there's a parking area on site. They're open to a longer than 12-month lease. There is no permit needed because it's already permitted. Air conditioning, outdoor care is included, and it has a swimming pool as a part of the building. So if you just scroll down here, based on the numbers that AirDNA is showing us, with the rent and a 15% buffer, you're looking at about $885 per month in profit. However, if you were to bump these numbers up to what they're actually telling us, and let's just keep it on the low end, so $2,100, 2 times that revenue in rent would actually be closer to about $50,000. So you're actually looking at about double what I had just mentioned. So $1,750 a month in monthly profit. So these are the Karolina, Puerto Rico, again, out of the country. Well, I guess technically it's in the country because it's in the United States. It's a United States territory, but feels like out of the country, right? So these units are available if you guys do choose to move forward. Just be sure to reach out to us and say that you're interested in Karolina 6165. Moving on, we are jumping over to Florida. Now, this one is a great opportunity because not only is it fully furnished, a good rent price, large amount of bedrooms, as well as strong yearly projections, but they are open to a partnership, aka they are open to co-hosting. So just looking at the photos, it has a pool and it has a hot tub built in. It's already fully furnished. Obviously, it could definitely use some decor upgrades, additional pieces of furniture. I mean, you would have to probably... Just looking at this, if we're being realistic, you probably would have to invest a little bit of money into this. The rent is $4,500 with yearly projections of almost $92,000. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. They only want first month's rent and security deposit if you were to run this as an arbitrage property. It's available now. Parking is driveway. They're open to longer than a 12-month lease. Air conditioning. It's already permitted for short-term rentals. No HOA. Swimming pool, washer and dryer included. And like I said, they are open to co-hosting. That does not mean it's set in stone. That does not mean it's guaranteed. That does not mean that they 100% will go with you and let you co-host, but they are open to the idea of it. They are open to potentially working something out. So just keep that in mind. If you guys do want to potentially learn more or talk about that and discuss further, reach out about Hollywood 7750. but just based off the arbitrage projection, if you pay $4,500 a month in rent with a 15% buffer, you are looking at almost $2,500 in monthly profit. So there's a lot of people on here that want over $2,000 a month in profit. This is the type of property that can help you do that. So if you guys have questions about this, be sure to reach out. This is Hollywood 7750. Now, another property that's open to co-hosting is out in Arizona. So this specific property is Phoenix 3911. Now, Phoenix 3911 is furnished as well. It's very similar to Hollywood in the sense of it has a good price rent, multiple bedrooms, and strong yearly projections. So fully furnished with a pool, as you can see, outdoor furniture. This one's furnished a little bit better. Still could probably use some upgrades. Definitely could use some sprucing up, but that is something that you guys can discuss. That's something that you can work out. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It already has some outdoor games. And then as you can see, a screenshot of the projections here. So $4,200 a month in rent, $86,000 yearly projections. They want first month's rent, last month's rent, and security deposit. It's available now, obviously in a good general location, also close to Scottsdale. Deposit is only $3,800, so it's a little bit less than first month's rent. Parking is a garage. They're open to longer than a 12-month lease. Air conditioning, no HOA. Outdoor care is included, which is great. That's going to save you some money. Swimming pool, washer and dryer included. And not only are they open to the idea of co-hosting in a potential shared revenue model, but they also are open to a lease option. So maybe if you guys were to work out some type of purchase price with the option to exercise that right later to purchase the property, maybe do some type of seller financing. I mean, the opportunities are endless here. So not only can you arbitrage this, but you could potentially co-host it if you guys work something out. You could potentially purchase it if it does really well. So this owner seems pretty open to almost anything. This is definitely a property I would not pass up. So if you guys are interested, make sure you reach out. Phoenix 3911. And just going to the monthly profits real quick, if you ran this as a short-term rental arbitrage specifically, you would be bringing in about $2,300 in monthly profit just based off these yearly projections and a 15% buffer. So again, guys, if you guys are interested, have questions, reach out. Next, we're going to jump back over to Florida, specifically in Fort Lauderdale. A lot of people want apartments. They want apartment buildings. Apartment buildings are a little bit trickier. They usually take longer to find and get yeses for. However, we do have this small fourplex out of Fort Lauderdale. These are all the same in regards to rent price, size, but they look like they've recently been renovated. Pictures probably don't do it justice. This is literally the best that we could get, so I apologize in advance. But these are 4 units. As you can see, it has been renovated. They're obviously in good shape. But 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, $2,500 in monthly rent, unfurnished. You can design it how you'd like. The laundry is coin operated. It's located near shops, restaurants, parks, and just 10 minutes to the beach. Like I said, there's 4 units available. They're available now. So good location, close to the beach, close to the airport. Deposit is same as first month's rent. Parking is a driveway. They are open to a longer than 12-month lease. Air conditioning, no HOA, and they're open to a lease option or seller financing. So this is a fourplex. So maybe you have the opportunity to actually purchase a fourplex in South Florida. Imagine being able to pick up a property, fourplex specifically, where you can go in and actually own it. So that is a big opportunity as well. Now, again, this is $2,500 a month. Just based on the projections, you're going to be bringing in about $600 in monthly profit. Of course, if you were to pick up all 4, I'm sure we could help work something out in regards to the rent price, or even just negotiate a little bit further, maybe a flat rate deposit, a little bit lower than what you're seeing here. So again, guys, when you see properties on our website, just know that not everything is always set in stone. These are usually just based off initial conversations where this is what they're wanting. So if you guys are interested and you want to learn more, if you want to discuss and potentially negotiate some terms, reach out about Fort Lauderdale 1460. Next, let's take it over to Texas. We have been getting a good amount of opportunities in both Dallas and Houston, but today we're going to talk about Dallas. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to share this one is because not only on this one, but actually on quite a few that we have, the rents are pretty low. And this one and the next one that I'm going to show you, and those are going to be the reasons why I show you these properties. Because maybe you can't afford those Hollywood or Phoenix ones that you saw where the rent is over $4,000 a month, but you still want to make good monthly profit. Based on these projections that I'm going to show you guys and these rents, these are the type of properties that could potentially do it for you. So this one in Dallas, again, pictures may not do it justice, But this property, it's a little bit older. However, you can make it look really charming, spruce it up. Obviously, it has a washer and dryer included, which we'll go over. So the rent is only $26.95. It is unfurnished, but the yearly projections are about $61,000 a year. They want first month's rent and security deposit, and it is in a good location, only a 10-minute walk to shops and restaurants. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, available now. Parking is a garage. On top of the fact that it has a washer and dryer included, air conditioning, and no HOA, they are open to a lease option or seller finance. So this is an opportunity for you to potentially own an asset later on if everything goes well. We're getting a lot more properties like that because we're asking a lot more owners and representatives if they would consider selling or doing seller finance, something along those lines. So scrolling down, just looking at the rent along with the yearly projections and that 15% buffer, you're looking at about $2,000 in monthly profit for a property in Dallas, Texas that isn't even in the heart of Dallas, still in a good overall location, close to shops and restaurants. But this is a property where it would be passed up majority of the time. But just looking at these numbers, looking at this rent, looking at the type of opportunity and potential that it has, you definitely want to make sure that you do your due diligence on something like this because it could end up being a great fit. And that's what brings me to the last property that I'm going to show you guys, which is in Jacksonville, Florida. So this property in Jacksonville, Florida, this is the same exact type of scenario where it's low rent but high revenue. This property is unfurnished as well. It's 4 bedrooms, 1 bathrooms. Like I said, a little bit outdated. However, it's something that could do extremely well just based off these projections. So $1,650 for rent, $46,000 in yearly projections. Overall, good location. Parking is street parking, air conditioning, no HOA, and washer and dryer hookups. And then again, same thing, $1,650 rent, super low rent. Honestly, at the end of the month, most you're probably going to be spending on your expenses are probably like $2,000. You're looking at almost $2,000 in monthly profit for a 4-bedroom. So these are the properties of the week. I only touched on about 6 of them, and again, we have over 140. So there's a lot of new ones that just came in. There's another pool home out in Arizona. We have actually, this is a purchase opportunity out in Houston, Texas. This isn't even an arbitrage deal. So if you guys are interested in potentially purchasing, specifically subject to, this is a deal that I'm going to be breaking down in a separate video, so look out for that. But all of these deals that you're probably seeing here, you won't see as a standard user because they're brand new. But again, guys, I already mentioned our membership options. Feel free to do your own research. Again, if you guys have any questions, concerns, if you want to book a call, feel free to do so. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one.